I love you.
No.
We're live.
Live. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Nerdy Up North podcast. It's a nerdy podcast and it's hosted by Northern Nerds. I am one of your hosts, Sam.
And I am the other host, Paul. And yes, it is our 2024 review. Ooh. So, years gone by, on certain dates, we've done certain things to end the year. I know we did, I think we did a year review the first year, didn't we? Or, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there was shitloads of us on for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did a year review. Then the next year we didn't.
We did a quiz, I think.
That was last year.
But that was that last year. So what did we do?
That was last year.
So I think we did a quiz. I don't think we did a review the year before that with Graham and he who should not be named, Mr. Kneecrack. But yes, and then Shark is friend, Shark is food. Fuck off. But yeah, then we had the quiz. The quiz was fun, and this year we thought we'd do it a bit simple. A little bit easy.
Yeah.
Well, I suggest do you want more people on? And let's be honest, Sam said, fuck no. Everyone can fuck off. I just want it to be on the spotlight to be on me. That was a Sammy. The Queen of the North. The Queen of the North.
I'll take it. Last year we ended the year with Trading Places on
Yes.
New Year's Eve because we had nothing else better to do.
Yeah, the cursed film, the cursed image that has been the blight. But it was a good episode. I really enjoyed talking about Trading Places, to be fair.
I did too. I got a lot of anger out, with me hatred of a certain person who should not be named, John Landis. But yeah, I really enjoy. It's one of my favorite films. And it's a new year. It was a New Year film. It was ideal.
No, and I know what Chris is playing at in the chat, saying I'm high pitched. I've tested the volume because I saw your little sneaky game, you sneaky little idiot, trying to mess with me mind, mess with me head. He's trying to get in my head in the middle. He's playing mind games. That Chris, that little Christopher.
Sorry. Who's come on as Top Grumps?
Oh, they've created their own YouTube channel. They've abandoned us already. Has Lee not told you this? Oh, Lee thinks he's above us now. He doesn't need Nerdy Up North anymore.
Oh, well. No, good for you. Good on you. At least people will know you're a web series now.
Yes.
There'll be no confusion. No confusion. Everyone knows where we stand. No, it's great. Jake said 2024 sucked, but got a good feeling about 2025. I was thinking about this today, and it wasn't that bad of a year.
It's been a hard year.
It's been hard.
Yes.
But it hasn't been too bad.
I think the way we've looked at in previous years is we've looked at success for Nerdy Up North is in growth and like spreading the word of the nerd around the nerd of the nerd. I gotta get that.
Because everyone's heard about the
nerd. Spreading the word that is nerd around the world, and that was always been our kind of gauge of success, shall we say. Well, this year has been a little bit different, where growth has been stifled, but in other areas, I'm more proud of this year for Nerdy Up North than I have ever been, and that's down to a lot of different factors. But we'll get into that a little bit as well. But yeah, I think it's been a year to be proud of. I think definitely.
Absolutely, the achievements that we've done all this year is been crazy. And I'm trying to rack my brains on everything because it's just swimming around, and then there's something new comes up, and I'm like, oh yeah, shit, we did that too. what did we do at the beginning of the year?
We tried to take over the world. We had
And
a battle.
failed.
We had a battle plan that was looked a lot different to how it turned out.
Mm.
But I think what we kind of like, me personally, I got excited less on me. I know it sounds really weird saying that. Like, I wasn't enjoying being the focal point or being the focus. I was enjoying seeing other people kind of thrive or grow and like into the thing, like seeing Sammy become the powerhouse that she is now. Like
Eh,
say, like Jake having like say the confidence and like say to basically know what he wants from the
mhm,
Twitch channel and going for it and doing determine the way he wants to do it, which is like say quite inspiring to do. But
mhm,
all the other little like facets and things that's kind of grew from that. Like if you look at like other people that's coming to us saying we've got these ideas, or we go into people and say we've got these ideas. What do you think? And kind of helping them kind of get that confidence, or like probably people that's always wanted to do these type of things. If you look at the two Tweedledee and
mhm.
Tweedledum, like how they probably wouldn't have if we never said them this is how you can do it or we can help you do it. They would probably wouldn't be like be as enthusiastic and doing some crazy stuff like sitting in a fucking bath of gravy, the idiot, and eating rotten fish. But seeing all those things kind of like not like kind of splinter off from the main focus, which was Nerdy Up North, but it turned
Yeah.
into more of a like more of the community aspect, of saying this is how we can not just help me and Sammy, we
Mhm.
can help the community experience what we do and what we've done, and kind of sharing that a little bit.
Yeah, that was the main aim of Nerdy Up North. It wasn't just
Hmm.
me and Lee. It was a community thing. We wanted to build a safe place for
Hmm.
people to be themselves, and
Hmm.
that is just manifested and developed into what we have today. We have the likes of the Top Grumps who, joking aside, you guys are fucking smashing it. Like you really are. We've got gaming up north. We've got trekking, monsters, women of nerd culture. It's like we
Hmm.
and gigs as well. We
Hmm.
have a multitude of platforms now for people to be able to have their own safe space,
Hmm.
and that was the point.
And it's like giving them
We did
people
it! Yay!
and get
Let's go home.
and giving people confidence as well, like not just in the group, but like showing the support within the group. Like Kelly
Mhm.
winning a comedy stand-up competition, and like say again, I'm not saying she wouldn't have had the balls to do it because she is the ballsiest of us all, but
Yeah.
for us to basically push her and support her and saying, look, this is what you like. You are a powerhouse of a person,
Mhm.
and getting to share Kelly with the world is just, as I said,
Oh,
is an experience.
the world needs more Kelly, and I'm really sorry that I couldn't be there. It just work was not the best. And I didn't finish till 6 and it was a nightmare. But you guys being there for her, that
Hmm.
like would have made all the difference and really boosted Kelly. And like I said, the world needs more Kelly.
Yes, and just like say with the charity stuff as well, like just with the quiz that that Graham does on a monthly basis,
Hmm.
which I promise you will be better organized next year. I've had words. Um, they've raised over 2,000. So in all, Nerdy Up North, like if you count up all the charity that we've just done this year, is done £2,500 in charity work. If you count back through the years, we've done nearly 5 grand in charity work just by doing Nerdy Up North and just having fun with it as well.
Hmm.
So,
And again, bringing that community spirit. Like the quizzes bring people who I've
mhm.
never seen before, and it's
and,
crazy.
and to be fair,
It's so good.
half of them I didn't want to see again. To be fair, but
True.
yeah, but yes. So it has been a year. A lot of
Mm.
people like say has been lots of trials and tribulations, been lots of ups and downs. We have been recognized as influencers now because we have had two, not just one, two adventures down south to
That's
do down south to coverage. One, like say, as I said, the unbelievable stuff that Sammy missed out for Game of Thrones, which Jake was my partner in crime for that one and helped me acclimatize down south and becoming a southerner.
If it wasn't for you, Jake, we would still be in London now, lost.
But then on the second trip, history breaking trip, we
Mm.
were a part of not just like nerd history, world history. We had like we were part of like an auction that brought in the highest grossing amount in history for a movie item. We we were promoted and we were asked to be a part of that. Take that in just for a moment.
Still can't.
No.
Still can't bring me head around. I've got all these photographs on my phone, and I'm like, shit, that actually happened. Like, that really did happen. The first one being Game of Thrones, that was
Mhm.
special. That was really special. And for all I couldn't be part of the day, um, the lead up to it, all
Mhm.
the work that was done before it was just,
Mhm.
it was brilliant. Like us just sitting on a random Sunday afternoon recording a load of shit was just brilliant.
I think
It was so much fun.
giving us the confidence to know we can hang or do what the other influencers do. And again, not to blow smoke up everyone's asses, we did it better than most people. That's why we got invited back for the
100%.
second time, because
Yeah,
we
no,
did it better.
100%.
And the biggest thing of all, if you use code Paul57676, 15% off a nudie. Keep warm in this winter. Just saying.
That is Paul
676.
57676 for your Udi special.
Yes.
Um,
Recommend the pizza.
sorry, I'm shocked you haven't even got on today. To be fair,
It's too warm. It's too warm.
I'm just looking at the just hi to everyone who's joined us tonight and who's in the live comments. Lee, I wonder what Sammy's death fact count is up to this year. Fuck knows. That's
Mhm.
that's it. I generally don't know.
No.
But yeah, so the Game of Thrones stuff was absolutely magical. The London trip was just still
Mhm.
I'm still not over it. I'm
Yeah.
still, to be honest, the whole thing, like even the auction night itself, that
Mhm.
was unreal. I
Yeah.
have never. I, I mean, I've screamed at me telly many times, but
Mhm.
screaming at a live auction was just ridiculous.
No, just to give people context, when the shoes went up for auction, we would estimate when we were talking down there that they would go for
5 million, 5,
seven at the
yeah,
best. They said,
yeah, five at the least, 7 at a push.
that's what they said. So they've broadcast the auction live on YouTube, and me and Sammy were watching it, sending each other sneaky texts, going, "Are you excited?" And we just went, "Why we're sitting here, what like texting each other when we could do it through Discord?" And
Hmm.
because as I said, if you're listening, we do have a Discord. Join us. It's full of
Hmm.
naughty nerds. Um,
We made some
and
great friends.
yeah, well, and a Chris,
And of
and
course,
and we got a few of the other naughty nerds to come and join us and watch along, and it was so fun. It was such a
brilliant.
laugh.
It's such a random thing because, to be honest, if he didn't set that up, I was
Mhm.
going to be ringing him because I
Yeah.
was getting sick. I couldn't type fast enough for
Mhm.
what was actually going on.
Mhm.
So I'm really glad that he set that up. But for it to go for
Mhm.
what it did, I mean, we were watching and you had two people bidding against each other on the phone, but then someone sneaking in the room who was then bidding, and it was like this little battle going on, and it was I was it was immense,
And I
absolutely immense.
and one of the highlights on that sound shoot was how excited Beth was getting. Like
Yeah,
Beth was hilarious.
yeah, and Beth's like predictions were she got quite a few spot on. Nobody got the ruby slippers.
Yeah.
Nobody, because
No.
the minute when they hit 5 million, we were like, all right, okay,
Mhm.
it's gonna come to an end, and it just kept going
Mhm.
and kept going and kept going to the point where it got to about 20 million. We're like, oh, we're gonna stop. That
Mhm.
this is the stopping point. Nope, kept going.
But
Oh, it was brilliant.
to say I was shocked, but then it felt bad because like I don't know how
Oh,
auctions work or thing
why did they do that?
because to me you would have the bigger item at last, but they
Yeah.
had this like a couple before the end. So then we got the like say the Wicked Witch of the
Hat.
West's the West it was West wait
Yeah,
I did that myself now
yeah.
hat, and that went for 2.7 million. which is
more than
still
what they're expecting.
it's still
yeah.
amazing. But then
Here's to put it in. Here's to put it in context for you. So the highest bidded item of pop culture memorabilia was back in 2011, and that was Marilyn Monroe's white subway dress, and that went for 5.6 million.
is that from the
So
7 Year Itch?
yeah,
Yeah.
the movie she came out of, did you know, was Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yes.
So yeah, that's the bar. That's where you're at, is 5.7 million. So for it to go, like even Margaret Hamilton's had to go to that amount, would still be like, oh shit, that's high.
Well, here's the context as well. The entire lot for the Game of Thrones went for 21 million.
The shoes went for 28.
Yep. So the entire Game of Thrones, like the throne, dragons' heads, swords, all that lumped together came for 20, I think it was either 22 or 23 million.
Wow. That's even better than the dress. Like that's like, to put things more into perspective, that's even better. The hammer went down to 28 million on them shoes, but it went with all the added extra was 32 million. And I've had people message me saying, you know, that money could have gone to better use and and it's like, I get it. I totally understand it. But I also understand the collectible world as well.
Yeah.
And I get that, and I get history, and these items need to be preserved. It's crazy that these shoes are 80-year-old, and we're still referencing them today.
And they looked beautiful. Like seeing them in person, I'll never experience anything like that.
My highlight was because we walking past that window was just, everything became a blur. Like a lot of a lot of things were hitting us in the face, and I was like, oh shit, like I need to walk away. And it wasn't until we walked through the doors, and Paul was in front of us and saw the ruby slippers, and I saw that he dropped a tear or two. Seeing that reaction, that was worth everything. I know what that movie means to him. And I know that I have jumped on something that he has been in love with probably his entire life. So I understand, like, that was such a moment.
It was. But other moments has happened this year as well.
Well, if we
just
go back to, go on.
Because can we just give Sammy and Dan their kudos for having their like, we've had big guests. We've had names on the podcast in the past. We've had Holly. We've had like Taffeta. Just to name a few. You had the biggest name, like say in UK horror directing, I would say, like, because The Descent and Dog Soldiers is up there at the top level of British horror, and you spoke to the director, not just like a conversation. You had fun. You brought his Geordie accent back.
I did. I managed to do it. I wondered how long it would take, because there were certain things that he was saying that I was like, oh, you've changed that. You've changed that for a southern audience. But yeah, that was, we had Neil Marshall on Monsters Up North in March.
I'm not going to try and think about dates.
I can't remember dates. I'm sorry.
Dates is not happening.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because it might have been around February, because my parents would have been away, and they went away for their anniversary, so it might have been around February time. But yeah, we had the great Neil Marshall on.
Can I tell the story how that happened though? Because not many people
go on.
Not many people know about this, because we've got a lovely member in the group who said he was going to a convention, and he was just like nonchalantly going, I'm going to a convention. There's a few people there. Neil Marshall's going to be there. Do you want me to mention about you and that you've got a podcast? The guy who mentioned it was Simon Henderson.
Thank you, Simon.
He, like I say, he just sent us a message out of the blue saying, like, I'm going here, I'm going to have a conversation with him. Like, he's doing his show now. And me just being me, because, like I say, I get a lot of messages from people from the group saying a lot of stuff. Some of it's horseshit, some of it's genuine. Let's be honest. Because, like I say, I love the Nerdy Up North community, but most of these are batshit crazy. Just deal with it. And he just said, there's like say, he sent us a message the day after and said, I spoke to Neil. He says, all you have to do is contact him. I was like, all right then. I was good. Okay, so
Easy done.
easy done. So I tried messaging him on Facebook first. No reply. Not even unread. So I was like, right, we'll ignore that. So I tried him a few days later on Instagram. Within half an hour of messaging him saying, I would love to chat to yous. And then it was kind of like me keep me shit together. And I was like,
Yeah.
right, because we had an opportunity. I could have been totally selfish and totally up my own arse and went,
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to this person who, like I say, let's be honest, I love his movies. I like I say, I love everything about him. Like when we got to talk to him again about a different film, my love kind of came out in abundance totally
Yeah.
at that
Yeah.
point.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. But I was like thinking about, because again, trying to have the sensible head on. Who's it going to benefit? Like if we get it on Nerdy Up North, yes, we'll get a big buzz. But if we get it on Monsters, on a podcast that's dedicated to horror that we can focus on, it be could be magic, which it was. And again, I think I sent you and Dan the message. I was like, "This is what I'm suggesting. Would you just be up for it?" I think
Yeah.
Dan didn't believe it would happen. I think Dan was kind of like,
Dan
"Paul's."
was very yeah.
Dan was
Dan
like,
was very hesitant.
Paul's full of
That's
shit."
not that's not how it went down though.
No.
We had a meeting,
Mhm.
and you brought it up then.
Yeah.
And probably for the first time in a long time, you made us speechless. I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, you do it, and I was like, what? What? Oh, okay. Yeah, Dan was very hesitant, and which is understandable. We've not done this before.
No.
We've not, and this was a big deal for us. Like, and especially in being from Newcastle, in horror, it was massive, and I can understand her hesitation. And it went ahead, and I can't remember half the stuff I said to him.
Yous were very professional. That was the thing. And like again, but yous were lovely about it, where it felt more like a conversation rather than like an interrogation or just throwing information
Yeah.
at each other. Which again, it's there's a few things that Nerdy Up North has done, but that is probably in the top 3 or top 5 most professional and best moments that we have even done.
It was a proud moment. I was very proud. I had a lot of family members who were incredibly proud of us because, again, he is a working class, Newcastle based horror director. He made it. He made, like, regardless of how you feel about his films, he's made it within the industry. And thank you, Sonia. Sonia was there on the night to watch it, and that was lovely. And everyone who showed up that night was just, I couldn't listen to it. I generally couldn't listen to it. I couldn't listen back how I sounded or what I said to him. Didn't go as bad as it went better than the second time around.
The second time, you're too hard on yourself, bless you.
I got his character's name wrong.
That's fine. The film was terrible. The film was terrible.
It was yeah. Wasn't the best, but to be honest, I can kind of see where they were going with it. It was nice to hear him talk about his side of it, and it was lovely to hear Paul and he talks about professionalism. That was professionalism to the max. I've done this for 3 and a bit years, coming up to 4 years with Paul. I have never heard him speak with so much clarity.
I'm a mumbler, damn it.
You were so clear. You were professional. You knew exactly what you wanted to ask him. You knew what you wanted to tell him as well, and how you felt. Listening to you through that, I wanted to sit back and just watch. I didn't want to be a part of it. I just wanted to watch it because you fucking had him in your hand. And what will be another highlight of mine, and don't get it, this is not a pattern. I don't like to see Paul cry. But the end of the interview when Neil went, his reaction was just, it was magical. You knew what you did on that episode. You were absolutely brilliant.
No, like so you do have these moments where like it's like moments of clarity or moments where things do just click.
Just clicked. It just clicked. The moment it's within the first few seconds of that going record, you just went into that. You were a totally different person.
But the thing is, though, again, what people don't see, which again, I wish we could share or show everyone like what happens. As a lot of people keep saying, how the sausage is made behind the scenes. It's not always as simple as like just turning up and talking about shit.
Fuck
With
no.
with
If it was.
with, with the second Neil Marshall interview, it was a bit more different because with us growing our social media side to the
Mm,
levels that we have been lucky enough to get some interest from other parties. It's like, as I said, it's one of the reasons why Heritage reached out to us. It's the Udi thing. I know it's jokingly, but like that
hey,
again,
it's a thing.
it's a
It's a
thing.
big thing.
We do regularly get emails from certain companies asking us to review certain movies. I'll be
Mm.
honest, 80% of these movies are unreviewable. Like, I'll be honest, are not our thing, or not
I
something,
would say not our thing.
not our thing. Um, Sometimes we get them and we think this will be trash. We'll just give them to Lee and Chris. Um, but I noticed the Duchess one was part of like thing we could review. We were very unlucky at the start of the year because when the company started getting in touch with us, it was literally 3 weeks after Late Night with the Devil had come out. So
Yeah.
we would have got an early screener of Late Night with the Devil if they got in touch with us 3 weeks earlier,
Yeah.
which is devastating. But again, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
that's the kind of the email. But we had to negotiate that email with Neil Marshall as well because it wasn't as simple
Yeah.
as like, do you want to interview him? Yes. It was like, no, this is what we do. This is how we do it. We've talked to Neil before, and he's like, okay,
Mhm.
Neil wants to do it, but you can only do this day. I wasn't free. Sammy wasn't free. It wasn't to be. So we're kind of like,
Mm.
what a email back, tails between our legs saying we can't do it. Thing. Got an email back 2 days later. Neil Marshall really wants to talk to you guys. He likes yous. Basically, he can fit you in on the last day of the press tour. We were the last interview on the press tour. So if you think about it, he's went through 6 or 7 days of constantly talking about this movie,
Mhm.
answering the same questions over and over again. And this is not just coming from people like me and Sammy. Like me and Sammy, I love to say we pros and we perfected this. We haven't, and we don't interview people that often,
No,
or at
we
all.
don't at all.
So that put the pressure on us. Something like I've not known. Like
Yeah.
I've been nervous before a podcast, like the Ian White one. I was a little nervous for. Um,
I wasn't.
um, but that one, like say, because everything kind of like when you're thinking, because you're sitting there and you're like, this is the time slot you're given, and you're thinking
Yeah.
before he comes in, it's like, the panic sets in, saying, what if we bore him? What if we ask something wrong? What if we say something that's totally against what he's not looking for?
What if you
Uh,
say his character's name wrong and call him by his actual partner's name?
but that's
And then
fine.
get corrected. And then get corrected by him. And then
But
just feel like the world should just swallow you whole.
he laughed about it. That's the thing. I think.
He did.
I think
He
again.
did. I was like, oh shit.
So it's like that type of thing. And again, going to the Ian White thing, again, it's having the balls to reach out and say, because he, like,
What?
with us doing the Neil Marshall interview, he liked our post. He started following
Mm-hmm.
the stuff
Because
we do.
he's part. I don't think everyone realized he's actually part of that clique.
Yeah.
Like he's part of the clique that is Neil Marshall and his friends, and Ian White is a part of that.
And I think this is the time we got the real Lee, like, on the
Oh,
podcast for the first
Jesus
time.
Christ. Did we just?
Yeah.
In the best possible way.
Yeah.
This is like Lee's moment to shine. Like he was prepared, like really prepared.
Yeah. Mhm.
I don't think I was. And I thought if I over prepare myself, maybe
Mhm.
I did go and watch his Predator movies, which, by the way, I fucking loved. I
Mhm.
class them as like I really enjoy them.
Mhm.
But that interview was Neil's was stressful in a good way because it was the first one that I'd done, which
Mhm.
prepared me for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
I was fully prepared. I had a laugh with him.
Mhm.
I corrected him
Yeah.
twice and
Yeah.
Lee.
I,
Like
I,
no,
I promoted my idea of the Nicolas Cage universe.
he
Again,
loved it.
it went down better with him than it did with Neil. But yeah,
Yeah, but he loved it. Lee was just on top form. Lee did his homework.
Yeah.
Like I don't think people realize when Lee comes on,
Mhm.
he does do a lot of background work. Like he
Yeah.
does, because when it comes, because Lee is so polite that he will sit in the back and like let everyone else talk, and then he'll get to his notes. By the time we've come to the end of the episode, Lee hasn't said half the shit that he wants to, which is why you'll find Lee'll talk more towards the end than he
Mhm.
does during the middle.
You know what I loved about the Ian White interview though? This is
Mm.
again, this is such a genuine guy, and again, this is going to sound like me being a dick. We couldn't get him off the Zoom call at the end because you know when
All we
like
wanted to do was
was
scream and shout and like get like, he was
like,
still
he wouldn't leave. He wanted to talk to Lee. He wanted to talk to us
there.
about all the stuff that we had talked about and stuff. We got more out of him after the podcast had ended, episode had ended,
Yeah.
because we only thought we had him for an hour.
Well,
That was
because
the thing.
we this is what we did with Neil. We asked, because you don't want to take the piss,
Yeah.
because we know how much we can talk. So when we interviewed Neil, me and Dan straight out the bat just said, "How long have we got you for?"
Mhm.
And he said, "An hour ish. Let's see how." And even Neil said, "Let's just see how it goes." So we knew we had like the hour mark
Mhm.
to get to, and then try and like wrap it up from there. He said exactly the same thing, but to be honest with you, he probably could have gone for another 2-3 hours. The minute Lee mentioned one of his films that nobody talks about, he was fucking excited. Like really excited. And Lee saying out to everyone to go on, I was like, what have I done to deserve this? How could you not have gone on?
You are the
You,
80s action like freak.
yes,
Like,
this is like your genre.
yeah. And again,
Mm.
it's like a lot of people probably say things differently about me. I have zero ego when it comes to this type of stuff. Like
It
say
really doesn't,
if
because
it
he could have done that Neil Marshall interview
if it comes to
initially.
something, if I think it's gonna someone's gonna do it better or fits
Mm.
in, or if I can help someone get to something that they want to do, I've got no problem. I've never once wanted to stand in anyone's way.
Mm-mm.
That's just not that. I don't think I've got that in me type thing.
He really
Uh,
doesn't. If the stars hadn't aligned the way they did, he may not have even been coming down to London with us.
mm, no, I
It
would
would have
probably
been somebody else.
it would probably been Lee.
Probably. Probably would have been Lee or Jake, maybe. But yeah, if the stars hadn't aligned, but that's him. He could, and to be honest, he could have kept it to himself and
Mhm,
just said, and then said no to the whole thing and no to anyone going. Could have
mhm.
quite easily done it, but that's not Paul. That's not
No.
what Paul does. And again, going back to the Neil Marshall episode, he could have quite easily had that on Nerdy Up North,
Mhm.
but he didn't. So his ego is intact
For now, like I
for
said,
now. Oh yeah,
2025,
for now. Let's see how 2025 goes
the
first.
year of the eagle, where everything goes mental and crazy.
This
Um,
influencer, Udi influencer, just takes over.
yeah, it's been a crazy year, but like, and again, we've been experiencing lots of different things. I love the fact that we've taken a few risks this year. Like we've done things like been passion projects. I've loved that Jake's done a bit of cartoons. Hopefully, in the new year, we'll get more of the cartoons. Like I say, we've set up, like I say, his Marvel stuff. Countdown Doomsday, which I love the idea for, and again, it's just about like trying to have as much fun, and
Mhm.
when we're having fun, it comes across in so much. And that again, going back to like the charity stream that we've just done,
Mm.
based on like one of the parts of the charity, because we were having so much fun talking about Star Wars, we are looking to integrate Star Wars more
More.
into like the conversation, into episodes of the podcast where we're getting Joe involved, we're getting Jake involved, and seeing like people like that conversation and having that type of fun. That's why we do this. We don't do this just to sitting here for an hour going blowing smoke up each other's asses and trying to say, oh, we've done this and done that. It's about
Yeah,
like
the niceties are going to end after this episode. It's not
yeah,
going to continue on through 2025.
no,
But no, the Paul's absolutely right. The charity stream that we did, I don't think we realized how much we love Star Wars. Like I
yeah,
don't like we like Star Wars, but I don't think we realized how much we loved it until we were in that conversation and we didn't want to leave. We
no,
were like, oh, it was the two movies that literally took the entire hour
mm-hmm.
to talk about. There was no gaps, there was no Do you know what I mean?
There was
There
no
was no
fillers.
other yeah, there was no other conversation happening in it. It was simply just about that. So to take that element and
Mhm.
put it into next year's episodes, I am so
Mhm.
so excited for.
Mhm.
Just to go, just run through the conventions we did this year.
Mhm.
We did the Manchester Horror Convention at the
Yep.
beginning of the year. That was
Well, Lee tried to kill us with his driving skills.
oh hey. Do you know what? He softened the blow by his hospitality of his car
Mhm.
because that was incredibly sweet. Me and Jake was sitting in the back, and in the back of the seats of the
Mm.
driver and the passenger, there was mini rolls, toothbrush, toothpaste,
Just in
um,
case Lee wanted to nick on with Sammy, just putting that rumor out there
crisps,
now.
um, and juice, which got
Wait a,
me that he got squeezy juice, and water.
just 1 second though. About the
Mm,
Horicon, can I just say
mm.
something? I've never seen Sammy so excited because she was given a lanyard with creator on. Like she was hugging this like it was like the best thing she's ever seen. She was like, I'm a creator, I'm important. But
So honestly,
again,
some things came out that day that should not have come out. They saw my genuine fear of
of owls.
snakes and owls, and yep, I was absolutely terrified. It's I don't want to do. I love owls. I think they're absolutely beautiful, but it's the minute wings.
Mhm.
It's wings. I can't do that. And yeah, I freaked out. Lee found it hilarious. Me vape went off in me bag to where
Yes.
my bag was just smoke. Lee's talking to this really nice author guy, and I am having an absolute meltdown because there's smoke coming out of me bag.
And
Um,
we made some good friends that day as well.
we
And
did, and it was such a lovely convention. It was
uh,
everything. Do you know what was so refreshing about it? Was
mhm.
that it wasn't just Funko Pops.
No. It was all
It
like
was
it was like a horror craft fair.
yes, and it was so
Mm.
refreshing and so nice to be around as well. And everyone, oh yeah, and the paranormal side of it as well. Jesus, Mary. But everyone was just so sweet how they
Mhm.
spoke to you.
Yeah. And then like a nerd fest we saw Lee stalk Jet from Gladiator. That was an
My mate Diane, yeah.
yeah, Dana. So that was an interesting one. But
That
again,
was funny.
like seeing like the local convention and seeing the Castle Coven girls being looking amazing and
Yes.
doing their thing there, but and realizing a little bit as well, we're not made for big conventions. A little bit, we're a bit too old for big conventions now. I would say.
Yeah, maybe. Nerdfest was good. The convention itself was
Mhm.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a nerdy convention. There's no
Hmm.
balls or whistles about it. I did walk away with the best bit of kit. Um, the
Jar Jar.
best piece that I bought my entire con time, apart from me shining bag, was this guy right here.
Hmm.
Jar Jar came
Yeah.
home with us. My husband wasn't exactly thrilled about it, but
Hmm.
hey, what's he gonna do?
Just a second, Sonia said that. Sonia, you said you want to, you would love to go to the convention. I think we're going back this April. I
We
think
are.
we've been asked back. So,
We have, and we are.
so we'll hopefully have a space in the car that you can jump in with us if you want.
We'll organize travel because
Hmm.
I think more of us are going to go because we didn't know what to expect.
Hmm.
We got invited down as guests.
Hmm.
Lee was lovely enough to drive because the idea of me driving to Manchester just made us physically sick in my car.
Hmm.
It was when Lee handed you the pedal when we were driving. That was so funny. So yeah, we we will definitely organize for us to take like to go with more people because they
Hmm.
deserve the love and the support, and it was a really good time. But Nerdfest, see, and this is what happened at Full of Horror. My favorite time is when we're all sitting in Pizza Hut.
Yeah, and Lee broke the well. Was it no?
Chris,
Chris broke the ice cream machine. Yeah.
yes, because you can't take them anywhere.
No.
Literally cannot take them anywhere.
Mhm.
And then you and Lee did the Northeast Comic Con.
Yep. Which the less about to say about that, the better. Like 30
We
quid
got
ahead.
some we got
30
some
quid
good
ahead.
donuts.
30 quid ahead. That was embarrassing.
Embarrassing event.
Mhm.
It looked like it.
Panels you couldn't hear.
Nah, and honestly, if it like there was
Mhm.
two sellers, Dean of the Dead and Bleeding Marvelous were the
Mhm.
only two that were unique because everything else looked like a fucking carbo sale.
Yeah.
And the donut guy was
Mhm.
that was
Yeah.
some good donuts.
And
But
that was and
yeah,
that was one of the reasons why we didn't bother even attempting to go to the one in October
nah.
until we hear better things. But for the love
Mm.
of horror, that was the big one that we like set our year around to go
we
to.
we did. But before we did that, we did SunnyCon.
Ah,
We
yes,
went
the
we
hottest
went
place
to
on earth.
SunnyCon. Oh my god, hotter than the sun. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, we did SunnyCon on the. Did we go the Saturday this time? Because we normally go on the Sunday. We did the
Yeah,
Saturday.
we did the Saturday because we haven't been putting a pound in because let's be honest, it's not really our,
It's not our thing.
it's not our audience type thing.
We're not.
Maybe Top Crumbs can do one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because they could fit that into their thing, but for us, it's not.
Mhm.
We are completely out of our element, like
Yeah.
completely. And I feel that's where I felt old
Yeah.
was at SunnyCon because it's aimed at such a young audience and there's a lot of young people who really enjoy anime, but
Mhm.
it is well put together.
Mhm.
Um, it was good to be around friends. Like there was a lot of us who went,
Mhm.
and then we had food afterwards. That was fun.
Mhm.
Um,
Well,
and
me
then we
and
went
Sammy
home.
and our partners did. We fucked off everyone else. We had a
Yeah,
nice
because
night
my
out.
my husband came. Um, this was and Anth did Nerdfest. He's not really a convention type of person, but he did Nerdfest. He did SunnyCon,
Mhm.
and then he did For the
For
Love of
Lava.
Horror. Which
And
wow, for somebody who like I thought SunnyCon would prepare him
yeah.
because it's a lot of people.
Mhm.
For the Love of Horror trousers that like for people. There's so many.
So many big titty goths. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't fucking move for them.
Yes.
But yeah, so the main attraction of the year, I would say, was For the Love of Horror.
Mhm.
We went down. Paul and Nick went. Me and Anth went. Chris and Molly. Lee and Bex.
Mhm. That was it.
That was it. That was
Yeah.
it for our group.
It
Yeah.
was like a couple's week, a
Um,
couple's retreat.
it really was. It was a couples. It was a couples retreat, but it was so much fun. The
Mhm.
convention was great. The after was
Mhm.
way better. It was so much better.
But yeah,
We had a right laugh.
I went to bed at 9 o'clock, so it was fine.
It was later than that, man. We didn't get back to thingy until gone about
Mhm.
9, 10 o'clock. You went to bed about 11.
Yeah.
I can't remember what time your wife left
Yeah.
because, like, if she hadn't, I'd still be there.
Yes. But no, it was
Oh,
again.
thankfully.
I think it was like say building them bonds, like say actually getting to know each other better in certain situations, and like it's similar like me going down to London with Jake, and like
Hmm.
there's you've got to be a certain comfort level with a person to be able to spend not just like a day, but it's like a full 24 hours
Oh
and
yeah,
change with that person. And not like want to strangle the person. Like I say, I never felt that way with Jake. And like say, and I'll say this now: Sammy does not snore. I was warned like by Anth and said that it was going to snow, but she didn't. Even though we had 7 beds to share, which
my
was
God,
just
that room, that room was something else. Just to go back to the Full of a Horror a minute, that weekend was just absolutely brilliant. I don't know if it's something I'll be able to do next year because I am going away. But I do recommend For the Love of Horror, go with your friends and just uh, do the convention side of things, but then just go and spend time with your friends because it was so much fun.
stay at the
But yeah, that
hotel where you stayed at. The hotel was perfect.
oh, it was perfect situation. We were very lucky that weekend. I mean, we got that hotel the day we came back from the last one.
Hmm.
We locked that baby down.
So next to the hotel was a co-op where you got all your alcohol, and then there was a Wagamama's just down the street. So and
Yeah, we
and
were.
a Blue Peter Garden.
Yeah, honestly, it was such a brilliant weekend. The London trip though, that hotel room will haunt me forever. Um, I've never felt fear so much as when we walked through that door.
Yeah,
It was so
so,
scary.
there's been some dodgy films made in that room. Not going to say it.
I just couldn't get over the amount of beds. 7 beds.
7 beds, and
Seven
it
beds,
was
yeah.
clean. It was clean. It was clean
It
though.
was.
It was a
Hey, yeah,
dream.
where it was located, it was perfect. We got to where we needed to be. Everything for the whole weekend just fell lovely into place.
And
Nothing was a
and can
struggle.
and can I say though, I looked after both Sammy and Jake when we went to like London. I first thing we did, I took Jake the same place. We went to the Hard Rock Cafe and I spoilt them to a cocktail. That was my little present to them for keeping us company during the holidays there.
Oh, bless him. It was he's so sweet. It was a lovely weekend. Did we do the charity stream after that or before that?
The charity stream was before because we were absolutely knackered because literally we got 2 weeks notice for um the Ruby Slippers. We didn't
Mm,
know we kind of had a from looking at the website we kind of had a idea of what items could be there, but
yeah.
the only item we knew for certain was the Ruby Slippers. But we had 2 weeks to sort out. The Game of Thrones, I think, we had a month to sort out.
It was time with that one.
Mhm. But yes, but yeah, like as a year experience for none, I think I think it's been a huge learning curve, not just for me. I think for everyone involved with Nerdy Up North, just to try and like say reevaluate and see where we are. As again, I know we've had like say ups and downs, like the whole Facebook debacle of basically almost removing the Facebook page and Instagram because I shared a picture of Dan Aykroyd from Trading Places, which I am still being punished with now. I've got 100 days left.
100 days left of his punishment, and he'll be out of it. But we've had some amazing people on this year. We had Taffeta on at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
That was for me
Mm-hmm.
huge. Like I have followed Taffeta and her Facebook page since 2014, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So to now be able to call her a friend is just mind boggling to us. Um, we had Katie on.
Katie, yep, and
That
like,
was
yep.
that was a brilliant episode. I got to talk death and more death, and it was just and somebody who understood us as well. I was like, Jesus Christ, yeah.
What I
Made another
loved
friend
about,
there.
and again, I don't know, like I'm trying to remember the episode because like with Katie, it was like we before we could record the episode, she talked to us for nearly an hour and a half, just
Oh, yeah, it
randomly.
took
It
us
was
a
like
lot. It took us a long time to
time
get to record to press that record button.
learn about her experience because like we think we have blown up. Katie is in the millions of the followers. Like she is like out there. She's even planning a US tour for next year.
She has a book deal for fuck's sake. Like
Yeah,
she's living the dream. And I couldn't be more happier for her. She is such a genuinely lovely person.
but
Like bottom of the heart, lovely person.
certainly, yeah. But to hear her stories of the bad side of social media as well,
Yeah.
that is because that's one thing we have been very, very lucky with in Nerdy Up
Touch
North. We've
wood.
we've we've had a few scrapes, but we've not had
Mm.
anyone like to the level where she can't use her real name.
Nope. She
She,
can't use her real name. She has to hide the identity of certain people in her life,
mm-hmm,
because of how bad that it got.
mm-hmm,
We are incredibly fortunate that we have not experienced that, and I am devastated for her that she has.
mm-hmm,
Um, honestly, if you want, I know we run our own podcast, but Katie's podcast is incredibly informative. Like the girl does her fucking homework,
mm-hmm.
and the stuff that I like, she likes. I'm like, I made a friend, yay!
Question to Sammy because I know we're gushing over a lot of stuff. What
Mm.
has been your favorite episode for this year?
For Nerdy Up North.
Yep, for anything that you've done
Oh, okay.
overall.
Well, oh god, that's hard because I do quite a bit. When I came back from, I went to Paris in May. When I came back from Paris, I think for 4 or 5 days out of a week for nearly a month,
mm-hmm,
I was recording.
mm-hmm.
Like burnout was not even a fucking word. Like I just had I did so much. But right, I'm gonna have to categorize this. So for Nerdy Up North, my favorite episode of this year, and we've done so many, and we spoke to some amazing people. but I love The Shining.
Hmm.
The Shining was one of my favorite episodes. I had my favorite people on there, Kelly and Sonia.
So that
No,
was
not
Sonia was
Sonia,
on.
not
Sonia
Sonia.
was
Sonia got to
Doctor
sleep.
Sleep. Yeah.
Honestly, that would have been a close second
Mm.
because this is where I challenged myself to finish the Shining book, even though I had no intention of talking about the book on the episode. But I set a challenge to myself. I'm going to read because always found Stephen King very hard. I'm going to read this book before we do this episode. And by God, 2 hours before we started recording, I finished the last page and then spent the entirety of the episode talking about the book, which I had no intention on doing. But it was so difficult when I'd just finished it and we were talking movie to book. I absolutely love that episode. My favorite episode on monsters is gonna have to be the Blob.
The Blob.
Um, the Blob, that was a game changer for us.
Hmm.
We had no plan on what we wanted to do
Hmm.
in 2025. And when we said the Blob, we Dan was says, "Oh well, there's the 50s one and then there's the 80s one," and she was like, we looked at the poster of the 80s one and went, "Oh God, this is just oh God, what are we getting ourselves in for?" And then we watched the original and we really thought, shit, we're gonna have to shit can this episode. We can't talk about this. Like we're never gonna be able to drag this out. And then we actually both watched the 80s one at the same time. Um, and it was a game changer.
Hmm.
This is the moment where it's you can't judge a book by its cover,
Hmm.
because if we just judged it solely on the poster alone, we would never have watched the brilliance that is the Blob made in the 80s. It is absolute perfection, and it started the double feature
Hmm.
for monsters, which has
Ah.
kind of been like something we've gravitated more towards during
Hmm.
last year. Um, I haven't done enough Marvel ones yet to say which my favorite Marvel one. Maybe the one that I'm about to record.
The one that's coming soon. Um,
Yeah. What
I've
about
got
you?
I've got three episodes that jumped to my mind.
Hmm.
As you said, the Shining is a close to this one, but I think the conversation on the Doctor Sleep one with Sonia and Kelly was just so entertaining, so
Yeah.
easy, so fun, and the subject matter, like again, the movie is such an amazing movie. I don't think
Mm.
it because it's held up to The Shining, which is for a lot of people the perfect horror movie. That one, like I say, the Doctor Sleep doesn't get the credit it kind of deserves, and it was kind of like
Mm.
getting to experience other people's opinions the same was quite special. Um, for the Toons one, I loved the Toons episode me and Jake done, the 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo. It was
Oh,
so
fun.
much. It was so much fun, and watching this crazy episode of Scooby Doo with me being a huge Scooby Doo fan,
Mm-hmm.
kind of reliving the memories and talking about it and just bouncing off and just realizing how crazy like the episodes, like these werewolves and stuff that came in, and me and Jake just spending like probably an hour just pissing ourselves laughing at Scooby Doo was something that was just magical. Um, and the other one I want to talk about is probably my favorite guest of all time is having Emma on from the BBC radio, talking about Sherlock because we thought like we were prepared. She was so locked in and so entertaining, and it was again having someone that like that supported us and helped us like
Like from day one.
through and like she never asks anything back from us or anything from us
Mm-mm.
either. But have her come on and just basically have such a wild time, and it was just
I'm
honestly
sure
one
me
of
and
me.
her got into it at one point over
Mhm,
characters.
mhm,
I love Emma so much. I think episode, my episode, but the episode I did for her thingy is going out on New Year's
mhm,
Eve day, one of the two. I love her. I
mhm,
absolutely love her. She, like Paul said, she doesn't ask for anything in return, and she has supported us from day one,
mhm.
literally day one. And anything that we do, she's like, "Yeah, let's get it promoted. Let's get the word out." She is so amazing. Love you, Emma.
Yes, and she is going to be on BBC Radio 1 on New Year's. Yes, so
Yes.
well done, Emma.
Yes,
Yes.
we found that out when we went there the last time. We went to the BBC studios twice last year. Lost
Yes.
one hoodie twice.
RIP hoodie.
RIP hoodie. What's really funny is I'm wearing it in one of the pictures where me, you, and Michael are sitting in the waiting bit
Mhm.
but I'm not wearing it
Mhm.
when we're getting our photos taken in front of the screen.
Right.
Don't know where it went.
Cool. So I know we've talked about Nerdy Up
Mm,
North and Wax Lyrical.
yeah.
And that went longer than I was expecting. I'll be
It
honest.
what it did. It did. But we've had a hell of a year. But let's talk about movies and television of 2024 because Paul really needs to jog my memory on some things.
I said this year more than any. Like, say, I know we keep saying it's like, oh, horror's making a comeback. Horror thing. I think horror really did have a comeback, and not just the simple or standard horror. Like the wide variety of different horror movies we got this year
Yeah.
was unbelievable. From, as I said, I know I wasn't keen on the movie, but The First Omen was quite interesting. We've had The Terrifier 3, we've had The Substance, we've had Trap, which was an interesting take. Like Josh Hartnett making a comeback. Who saw that?
Mm.
The fucking batshit crazy that was Longlegs. Like
I can't believe
that,
I've
like
watched that.
uh, like Nicolas Cage being total unhinged, having
Yeah.
having a different take on the vampire in Abigail,
Oh my
which
God.
did
Yeah.
not see that coming.
Uh-uh.
And one of my movies, like, and again, I didn't expect this, but two horror movies that was in my top 5 movies of the year.
Mm.
Late Night with the Devil was
Mm-hmm.
just a masterpiece in storytelling and how it's going through. And Heretic with Hugh Grant being one of the best villains I have watched in it's a slow burner and it's so interesting. The conversations they have about religion is like it doesn't talk down, it doesn't undermine. It's having honest conversations in a way that's done and having the protagonist do nothing wrong. You know, when they go, oh no, they shouldn't have done that. They do
Yeah.
everything right, and it's just great. Yeah.
I think it's one of my movies. I have a list of things that I need to catch up on, and I'm getting through them. I've watched Abigail, I've watched The Substance.
Mm.
Body horror is something I'm trying to get my head around. That kind of helped a little bit. But horror has been, I feel, taking more chances.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
It took more chances. I mean, going back to the big the Omen, the first
Mm.
Omen. Now, the Omen is a very special movie. I mean, one of my all-time ultimate horror movies. And it's very hard to put into words sometimes why I love that movie so much. Um, I thought I was gonna eye roll my way all the way through it. Kind of did in a way because they changed some laws, but they do help you get to where you need to be to watch the
Mm-hmm.
next Omen. It does its job in that respect. But I do think horror's taken a lot of chances and not stuck with a typical trope that it does. It hasn't found one thing, latched onto it, and dragged it out for the rest of the year. Because that's what horror is very well known for doing. It's been different sides of it. Um oh gosh, I am gonna watch that Hugh Grant one. That is
Mm-hmm.
something I'm gonna watch before the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Late Night with the Devil was just
It's a
a masterpiece.
masterpiece. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece in movies and
Mm.
movie. Ugh, can't even talk.
Mm.
I can't say the lead guy's name, but
David something.
Dave,
David
yeah, yeah, lots of D's.
yeah.
He needs to work more.
Mm.
He is absolutely phenomenal. We all loved him in James Gunn's Suicide Squad. He
Mhm.
kind of stole his scenes when he
Mhm.
was in that. And he certainly
Mm.
stole the show
Mhm.
with Late Night with the Devil.
Mm.
I feel horror in 2025
Has a lot to lived
is
up to. Has a lot
I
to.
feel like it does,
Yeah.
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 Yeah. There's some good movies coming out next year as well.
Yeah, and I think this year as well has been the year of the blockbuster with a certain movies. Like I think Deadpool and
Oh,
Wolverine stole the show, bringing the big movie back to the cinema. I know Deadpool's not everyone's cup of tea, but bringing
yeah.
Wolverine, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, to the MCU and doing it the way that didn't piss on the legacy that was Logan, was just something to
Yeah.
behold. Like I
They
experienced it. Like I couldn't believe that they went there. I wouldn't have even like the amount of stuff that we kind of heard rumors for or guessed about,
mm,
and they're still fucking shocked and surprised. And and went above our expectations as well was just unreal.
Um, it's the movie that got me hyped for movies again.
For the Marvel universe,
For the
yes.
Marvel, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's I lost a lot when Endgames ended.
Hmm.
The magic and and it wasn't just with Marvel, it was quite with a lot of movies. There was no sparkle anymore, there was no build up, there was no excitement around it. Even losing Star Wars movies coming out at Christmas, like it was
Hmm.
just the magic had fizzled out. So to have that feeling back again when this one, like I
Hmm.
jumped on this hype train
Yeah.
like massively. I did the same again with Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice,
Yeah.
like I love, regardless of what you think of the films,
Mm-hmm.
I love the build up, the
Hmm.
anticipation of it all, the theories, the conversations that you get out of it, and then you see it and it's like, oh my god, is it?
Hmm.
We did an episode straight after
Hmm.
for Deadpool and Wolverine because I couldn't not.
Yeah.
I needed, I hadn't seen it.
Hmm.
I needed to get all this out.
Hmm.
And it was just I loved the whole build up for it. Just to answer Sonia, haven't seen Nosferatu because it doesn't come out until we don't get it until
Thursday.
next weekend. Yeah,
Thursday.
we get
Thursday.
it in New Year. The Americans got it on Christmas Day.
Hmm.
We get it. I'm going to see it on
Hmm.
Friday for a very special reason.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, with Beetlejuice, as you mentioned,
Mm.
that was hype that we've not seen in a long time.
Oh
That's
my
like,
god, yeah.
and again, I loved the buzz, I loved the excitement, and kind of movies latched onto that. Like Alien Romulus kind of got on the back of like the
Mm.
buzz from Beetlejuice. Like films started to become an experience
Exciting.
or like
Yes.
thing. And again, coming into this month, the biggest movie probably of the year, Wicked. That's
Mm.
again, if you like, I know if you people are saying, "Oh, it's not for me" and stuff. If you love like just stage shows, you love fantasy, it is up there. And everyone's going, "Oh, it's a musical." The songs are fucking catchy. Like I don't care. Like, but not just the movie, the hype, the marketing. It's back to 90s style blockbuster that we haven't
Yeah.
experienced for at least 5 or 6 years. And I'm all for if they're going to give us this type of hype and this excitement for movies again. I'm I'm
I'm
on
in it.
that's why I love movies. That's why I
Yeah.
do shit like this for that type of reason.
Yeah.
Um
I am so in it, and I cannot appreciate more as a goth girl, how how merchandise was dished out for Beetlejuice. Like not in a million. Like you could get like a Beetlejuice T-shirt. I have a very old
mhm,
Primark Beetlejuice T-shirt that literally is just the front
mhm,
cover. It's so old. It's faded to shit, but that was literally all you could get.
mhm.
Come a month before this film comes out, I've got pajamas, I've got socks, I've got mugs, I've
I
got
think Kelly
bloody a
kitted out
bag.
I think Kelly kitted out a whole house in Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I've got all sorts, and it's down to again the hype,
Mhm,
the the I don't want to use the word again, but anticipation
mhm.
of this movie.
Yeah.
It all leads up to something.
Yeah, it's going back to like something as simple as when Ghostbusters 2 came out when I was a kid. In Burger King, they had cans of pop that had no pop in, that just had smoke. So when you cracked it
Yeah,
open, it was like a ghost came out. It's
the
these
Ecto
stupid,
Coolers.
it's these stupid marketing campaigns that just basically fills your life with like a little bit of joy, gives you a little
Yeah,
bit of a like an escape from the reality that the world's shit. Like everything's going wrong, but you can get
exactly,
excited and spend 2 hours in a theater and just like be totally transported, and your worst
exactly.
worries are not like that's where this magic and stuff needs to continue, and hopefully it'll continue in the new year with
Long
different things.
Long May It Rain. One movie that again, another movie I got on, and I am always going to get on the hype train for this, regardless of how anyone else feels about it. But Ghostbusters
Hmm.
Frozen Empire came out this year.
Hmm.
Again, not everyone's cup of tea.
Hmm.
Not, you know, there
Hmm.
was a lot of conversation around it, but that was the best part about that. There was a lot of conversations came out of it, and they were all different from the next. Nobody had the same opinion. I love it. I'm
Hmm.
always going to love it. You
Hmm.
could honestly put 2.5 hours of Bill Murray walking around in a circle with a Ghostbusters outfit on, and I'm gonna fucking love it. Um,
Mhm.
so I was very biased on my opinion, but then I had two other people sitting with us. I had Lee and Paul,
Mhm.
and we had a very
Mhm.
roundtable discussion on
Mhm.
Ghostbusters Empire, Frozen Empire.
Mhm. I think
But
when
again,
you
the
when
hype for
you
that.
yeah, when you look back, it's like I think again, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy the movie. I did enjoy it because let's be honest, any Ghostbuster movie that comes out is better than no Ghostbuster movie. I'd rather have anything than
Yes.
nothing. But again, it's better when you're taking it as a critical eye and look at it through a different viewpoint. You can see where it wanted to go, where it needed to go. But again,
I
I'm not going to suggest that saying, "Oh, the film should never been made." I'm always going to be happy. Like I love the one with the girls, like Answer the
Me
Call.
too.
It's still a Ghostbuster movie. Any Ghostbuster movie is better than a non-Ghostbuster movie, in my opinions.
No, and I totally 100% agree with you. I know I walk into that with rose-tinted glasses. I totally get that. So,
Hmm.
like I say, I'm not the best person to talk to when it comes down to any criticism over a Ghostbusters film, but
Hmm.
I can understand people's point of view. I
Hmm.
am not the person who sits there and goes, "Well, you're wrong. Your opinion's wrong."
Hmm.
Because I'm right. I would never do that. And that's very much proven if you go and listen to the episode that we did. I understand the flaws
Hmm.
and how things could have been a bit different, and that we need to start moving on, kind of thing.
Hmm.
But I still fucking loved it. I'm still gonna love it. Not gonna get. I'm not gonna say anything bad about it.
Um,
Um.
I want to mention two other things, and again, it's something that we don't really talk about on this podcast before. We've had
Mm,
brief little conversations about. I know
mm,
we're going to talk about one of them in a few weeks. I've seen two documentaries this year that just basically stopped me in my
mm.
tracks. The first one was Michael J. Fox Still.
I
Um,
watched.
Seeing what he goes through and his drive is just inspirational.
Mm-hmm.
And that bloke, like, is going through Parkinson's and he could be sitting there feeling sorry for himself. He is just a force to
He's
be reckoned with.
he's a
He is
fighter.
just he is just an amazing human being. I'm not just saying that because I love Back to the Future. Like Michael J. Fox, he's got to have someone with him all the time because when he walks, he'll fall over. But
Oh,
he will not let people help him. He will walk along. He's picking himself up. Honestly, that documentary, the stuff, the work he does for different charities, for different people, to give people hope is just like
he
honestly.
really has, though. I don't.
Mm,
I just think his presence alone,
mhm,
and the fact that he's still a working actor with the condition that he has,
mhm,
gives people a lot of hope. And I don't think he realizes you could do all the charity work in the world, but just him being out
mhm,
there,
mhm,
that means more to anyone. He's a huge part of my life
mhm,
in my family's because of obviously the movies, our trips to Universal Studios, and the fact that my dad
mhm,
shares the exact birthday and year date as him. They were born on exactly the same day.
mhm,
Um, so yeah, we have that. My dad read his autobiography and
mhm,
said it was a work of art and it was incredibly moving,
mhm,
and he's a fighter. And for all we love him as Marty McFly, I will always love him for his character in Spin City.
mhm. Yes. Oh,
That was such a great sitcom. Like, you don't get programs like that anymore.
to be fair, Frighteners is such an underrated movie as well.
It's such a good film.
Yeah. I've chatted,
That's it.
which I told I wasn't allowed to do because Dan wanted to do it. But you know what, Dan?
We are gonna
I
we
might
are
do
gonna
it.
do it.
I might do it. I might just do
Don't
it.
don't push her over the edge.
But yeah,
What
and the
was the
other
other
one,
documentary?
it's just Superman, the Christopher
Mm.
Reeve story. And I know we are doing Superman in the next few weeks, spoilers,
We are.
which we will talk. Well, we're doing the Christopher Reeve Superman, so we'll be talking about this documentary as well. This is hard hitting. This shows you behind the scenes. This has interviews with not just with him, with his wife, with his family, and everyone is honest. Like the conversations he has, like he was ready to die after the accident, but his wife said don't. That was the only reason he didn't let himself die. The influence that Robin Williams had in his life, the influence that the fact that if one of the again, it's hard to say. He, the I think it was Glenn Close who said it. He said if Christopher hadn't passed, Robin would have still been here.
We brushed on it in the Robin Williams episode, which was another. Honestly, that was a game changer for me, because that was me looking at someone who I generally thought I knew,
Mm,
and was like taken on this whirlwind adventure of his life,
mm,
and the influence them two had on each other. It
mm.
wasn't a one-way friendship
No, no, they
where
loved each other. Like,
it
uh,
was two ways. They went to school together.
mhm,
He would just ring him up out of nowhere every day and just say something ridiculous and put the phone down on him.
mhm,
That would be their conversation for the day. But they meant so much to each other, and I
mm,
fully believe that statement. If he
mm.
was still here, so would he. He would have
Yeah,
fought.
yeah. And I think the sad thing, again, spoilers to anyone who hasn't seen this, because I didn't know this, and it is documented. Before Christopher Reeve passed away, he was getting movement back in his feet. He was starting to move his feet again. Like
You told
this, this is a guy that had an internal decapitation. Everything was cut
go.
off. This has showed you the strength and like just basically the will of this person that embodies everything that Superman is about.
Yeah,
That
yeah. It really does.
he managed to start moving again.
Yeah, it's heartbreak.
Mm,
It's powerful.
mhm.
Like it is such a powerful thing, and it's heartbreaking at the same time. The Reeves family have not had it fucking easy by
No.
any stretch.
Mhm,
Not long after Christopher dies, his
mhm.
wife dies.
A year
Their
after,
son
it was a year after.
their son has their son is one of the genuinely, like, you can tell his dad's influence is there. It's imprinted. He is going to be in the new James Gunn
Mm,
Superman movie. You will get to see a Reeves back in Superman, not as Superman himself, but he's
no.
going to be in the film, which is incredibly touching.
Mm.
Terrifyingly, he looks so much like his dad.
Oh,
Like, it's
and he's a beautiful man. Like, say, oh,
beautiful. Dan
mm.
told a story on Monsters where he could have been her stepdad.
It's-
You have to go and find that episode for that one. But yeah,
Mm,
it's one I'm gonna have
mm,
to watch. Not have to watch. I am going to watch, because
mm,
I'm
mm,
very interested in this man, and um, he's in a movie with
mhm.
switching channels with Kathleen Turner. I absolutely love it. It's about a man going on death row. She's a news reporter. He plays her snotty boyfriend, and they're trying to save this man's life. And he does a Houdini act on the electric chair. Oh, it's really good. It's so 80s. It's fantastic.
But
Um,
there's things that you don't know as well, like because with this documentary, I'm sorry I'm going into it because it
mm,
is mesmerizing. It gives you so much hope and shows you like the true worth of this man.
mhm.
He it got to the point where they were struggling to pay the healthcare costs. So he decided, right, I need to work. So he started directing movies again because
My
he needed
God,
to pay his health bills.
yeah. This this man, he's part of a legacy
Hmm.
that is absolutely unbreakable,
Hmm.
and I can't wait. And I know it's a big, Paul's already said spoiler, but we are going into this in detail
Hmm.
this in January.
Hmm.
Anyone who's listening, please go and watch the documentary before
Hmm.
we talk about it, because it would be nice to not ruin it, because I will.
It's going to be
And
interesting. Like,
if I don't cry through it,
yeah.
miracles. Miracle.
I think the best thing to come, like, and lots of people always say, um, especially with Superman, like, oh, I can't relate to Superman. I can't relate to the character. I can't relate because he's too powerful. I agree in certain aspects.
Hmm.
Go back and watch Superman 1 and 2. There's a humanity. There's an innocence. Um, there's a reason why Superman is so loved and beloved by a lot of people. It gives so much hope. And it's not just like say Superman, but Christopher Reeves brings so much to that. And again,
Hmm.
we'll go into it a whole lot more in a few weeks' time there.
We will. Documentaries. has not been my year for documentaries. None
Mhm.
that if I've watched any, they've not stood out to us.
Mhm.
Books, if I can just go into books a minute.
Mhm.
I am a reader, and this year I hit a bit of a slump because last year I did the Hunger Games, and it
Mhm.
was immense. Like that was
Mhm.
unreal. I absolutely had. I can't wait for the next book to come out. I've got it pre-ordered. It's going to be Hamish. It's the third quarter quill. Um, so I hit a bit of a slump after them, and I was like, didn't know, didn't have any direction until my best friend for my birthday bought me the Call the Midwife books. They were amazing, brilliant part of English history. I know it's a TV show, but it's also like true life English history. And then I hit Stephen King,
Mm.
which I have struggled with for many years. My sister bought me The Shining and Doctor Sleep for Christmas in
Mhm.
2015. I
Right.
just read them this year. That's how much I've struggled. But I am on the Stephen King train. Like I'm nearly finished
Mm.
Pet Cemetery. That book has blown my fucking mind.
Mhm.
I have one more to read after that, and then I have a little challenge.
Mhm.
And you'll find out later on if I pass that challenge.
Well, no, we're going to set the challenge,
Okay.
so that's fine.
Oh,
So,
so it's out there. So
so it's
now I
out.
have to do it.
Yeah. So, because we loved, as I said, the Stephen King episode when we had Sonia and Kelly
Mm.
on doing Doctor Sleep, and unfortunately we missed Sonia for The Shining. We thought we'd go through that. And I know we had a little discussion with Kelly and Sonia at the time because we enjoyed it immensely.
So much.
Sam's going to read one of the hardest Stephen King books out there. And again, its subject matter is difficult to talk about, but it's a book. It's a fucking book. We're going to try and aim to do Stephen King's It in March. So give Sammy a little time, a little space to go through it. And so, yeah, hopefully we'll get Sonia and Kelly back on if they're up for it.
Absolutely.
Uh,
This is for people of YouTube, audio people, you'll not be able to see this, but you can go and Google it and find out how big it is. This is it.
Mhm.
This is it.
Mhm.
Literally, the book It. I have tried. I have about 7 different
Mhm.
um pages in here that I have got stuff in them of
Mhm.
where I have tried to read this. I've tried on audio. I've
Mhm.
tried on with this. I'm gonna do it though.
Mhm.
I did it for The Shining. I am gonna do it. That's my challenge. He said let's do it in February. I was like, give us some March.
Good March. But yeah, like I say, we'd love to have Sonia and Kelly joining us to discuss like the book, the movies. Like I said, let's have a clown fest, shall we say?
I will. Oh my gosh, I get to wear me Pennywise jumper. Yes, Sonia, I will. As soon as I've literally just finishing off Pet Cemetery, and then I'm going to read The Green Mile because that was my plan originally. Whether or not I change that and just jump straight in, but I'll message you and let you know.
Mhm. So, come on.
Yes.
So that's the book side. The book.
Oh yeah. Book.
TV shows. This one's been a bit more difficult, I say, because if you look
Yeah.
back in the year, there's been flutters of things, but it's been later this year where we've
Yeah.
had more quality.
The only thing that comes to mind is House of the Dragon,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm sorry is quite forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've up until this moment right now, it was actually on the back of the picture, and it probably has nothing to do with it, but I can see some flames,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, House of the Dragon. I can't think of.
I know a few, so I'll help. So don't
Go
worry.
on.
So Marvel nearly killed us with just the overabundance of shit until
Oh my god, yes.
we had the iconic and one of the most out of left field show that no one really was expecting, no one really wanted, but fuck were we glad we got Agatha. Like one
Yeah.
of the unexpected gems that again
Mwah.
give me hope for the Marvel universe if they're going to tell these kind of like character side stories.
Yeah.
I'm so in for that and interested. It doesn't have to be a bigger picture. It's just fun.
No.
Just made Marvel
Exactly.
fun again.
Make Marvel fun again. Yes, we didn't ask for Agatha. Nobody wanted her. It's not that we didn't want her. We just didn't know that we needed her. And when we got her, it was some of the best writing. Best characters, best development, story was fantastic, the aesthetic was unreal, and the fact that it doesn't even play a part in the MCU makes it so much fucking better.
Mhm.
Marvel, if you are going to use Disney for TV, use it for shit like this. We
Mhm.
don't care that the story interlinks with the MCU. Just give us a good fucking story.
Mhm. We had the return of X-Men 97.
Oh fuck my god.
One,
Yes.
like, this could have went so badly wrong because of the
Oh yeah.
nostalgia and how much love this TV show has, the
Yeah, yeah.
cartoon. And they smashed it out the park with every
Oh,
single episode, every single frame. Like, the artwork was on point, the voice acting, the
our
names,
group chat was
the,
my favorite part.
the name's Gambit. Remember it. Will
It was
live with me forever.
oh, it was the on a nighttime when it aired, we would literally put X-Men
Yeah.
question mark and wait to see if everyone to make sure everyone had watched it so we could talk about it.
We
It
haven't had
was
that since Wonder.
nah, we
No.
haven't. We really haven't. I haven't had Paul continuously messaging going, Mephisto's coming in on this one. Yeah, that was such a that was a thank you for reminding me about that. I
Mhm.
completely forgot. Yeah, that was fun.
No,
Oh,
definitely. I know you haven't watched it, but I was overtaken by Slow Horses, like Gary Oldman in one of the greatest roles I ever seen. British spy, espionage done amazingly well.
my sister
Um,
has watched it and said it because I love Gary Oldman. I've
mhm.
always said that, I'm gonna end up marrying him at some point in this life or the next.
Probably already have.
Um,
You just don't haven't realised it. Like, it's probably
probably,
disguised
pro-
himself as Ant. Uh,
probably, but yeah, my sister has mentioned it to watch that. I did start, and I know I'm a bit late to the game, but I know it's just had its last season. What's it called? What's it called? That's how much I'm enjoying it. It's got Kevin Costner in
oh,
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. Right.
Yellowstone. Yes, I have started that.
Mhm,
Slow, but
mhm, mhm.
okay.
But yeah, like I said, there's been other like shows I've enjoyed. Like Bad Monkey was fun. Dexter's like only 3 episodes in, but that's made it a triumphant return. Like, honestly,
I feel like we're gonna watch it. I do the
um,
reviews I'm getting.
Christian Slater is magnificent in these episodes so far. Um,
Sorry, I'm just laughing at Sonia. Your husband is Gary Oldman. That's how good he is.
um, but yeah,
Sarah's just reminded us Fallout that
I
came out this year.
couldn't.
I really enjoyed it.
It wasn't for me, but I'm not a Fallout fan, so I don't think I got like everything that was meant to be get. But
The
I know.
world building, the
Mm,
protagonist herself, she was absolutely phenomenal. It was I thoroughly enjoyed it. That was a good series for me this year.
and probably it's one of the best shows I've not just seen this year, I've seen since The Sopranos. The Penguin.
Fuck yeah!
The
Still haven't
Peng
finished it.
the Penguin was absolutely breathtaking. It only worries me a little bit now is that they've delayed Batman by an extra year because there's rumors that they're trying to integrate the Batman universe into the Gun universe. Because at first it was going to be a standalone, so it's going to be called the Reeves universe, Reeves Batman.
Uh-huh.
But because of how well the Penguin and everything is done, is it's kind of the wanted to be part of it, but that worries me a little bit if
I,
they do go down that
I
route.
can understand that, but put some trust in James Gunn.
Oh no,
Like he's
yeah,
never steered. He's up until now. He's not steered anyone wrong. And given the reaction of the Superman trailer, I
hmm
feel DC are finally in some good hands.
yeah. Again, I'm not too scared or worried at the moment, but it's kind of like just because the first Batman, it seems so long ago now, and it was done so well. I know we've had the Penguin, but I'm kind of excited and kind of intrigued. Um,
Mm.
but probably my surprise of the year, it was a little Netflix show called Man on the Inside, Ted Danson, a little
All
daft,
right, you watched that?
yeah, a little daft comedy where he infiltrates like a nursing, like I don't know what it's called, like environment, like a nursing community where it's an old paid people's home, but it's like all the community, and he's kind of like trying to investigate like a robbery type thing. but he's going through his old trauma of having like he lost his wife through the dementia, and he's seeing that in other people. And again, it's just done so well. It's
Oh.
got the young lass who played Rosa Diaz in Brooklyn Nine-Nine in, and she plays a character that's just absolutely beautifully done. But yeah,
Oh.
it's only a 6 episode run, I think. But man on the inside, Ted Danson at his cheers best.
Well, so I'm kind of named after.
Mm,
That's no joke. That's not even a
yeah,
lie. Sam
no,
from Cheers is where my name comes from.
hey Sammy. But yeah, that's the thing. And again, I think I'm on the Squid Games Squid Games roller coaster again this year.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's I did it. So Squid Games came out on Boxing Day. We are literally 2 episodes away. I don't know where Paul is right now.
Almost done.
Almost done. But I was worried because it'd been so long
Hmm.
that I was like, oh, do I even care anymore? Watch the recap and I was like, okay, starting to remember things, I'm in it.
Hmm.
Totally in it. This is I know it's getting mixed reviews online. Some of the reviews that I read, Sarah said it's gone from spectacular to boring. I'm sorry, but this is anything but boring. It's added layers to it,
Hmm. Hmm.
to an already interesting story.
Hmm.
I did get Hunger Game vibes from it though, and I said to Anth, if on the next series the world's burning and there's a revolution, I'm fucking calling it. It's the Hunger Games. Because
No,
it feels well, the first one is the initial one. She did the initial one. The next one is the return. He's done the return. The third one and the fourth one is when the world is burning and the revolution happens. If that happens, Squid Games is the Hunger Games.
all I'm going to say though for the Squid Games is fuck Thanos, fuck him hard.
Fuck Thanos and he's fucking painted nail, fucking Infinity Gauntlet shit. The guy's doing his job. I'm just gonna put it out there. If you haven't seen it already, the guy is doing his job because you're gonna fucking hate him.
I think with the Squid Games as well, what it always does well, the interesting characters, you, they know which ones they want you to root for, and they push them hard, and
Yes.
they get you on board early,
Yeah.
and they make them so likable.
So
That's
likable.
mm,
Like almost too likable to where you are so fucking attached to them that you are worried for them every second of every minute you are watching that.
yeah.
But I will have that finished tonight. That's my goal, regardless that I am at work tomorrow.
That's fine. But yeah, that's pretty much because nothing really much has happened in like the TV world. There's been,
It
as I
really
said,
hasn't.
yeah, like it's kind of waited till the end of the year to kind of explode again.
Hmm.
Um, hopefully, as I said, again, Marvel don't fuck up and start doing stupid things again, trying to be too clever. Just
Fingers crossed.
keep it simple, keep it easy. Just don't get too excited. But yeah,
Exactly.
I, hopefully we've mentioned a few things that you guys enjoyed. I know, like I
Uh,
said, I know Jake and Lee mentioned Dragon Ball. Um,
Yeah, Ant's been watching that. If you want to, if you remember anything or anything that you want to talk about, if you are watching us on YouTube, go to the comment section. Let us
mhm.
know. Start a conversation. Start a dialogue. We are happy to have them conversations and get to know what you enjoyed this year because the likelihood is we've missed shitloads out.
We've just been excited, being influencers and swanning down south and
Oh,
enjoying
being a
ourselves.
southerner, being a fake southerner.
But yes, so what's coming up in the new year, Sammy? What's happening? What do you want to promote? What can you tell us?
Well, Monsters will be making its triumphant return. I made some really cool TikTok videos ready for its return. On the 13th of January, episode to be confirmed.
Oh, you're not telling them yet, are you not?
Nah,
No.
nah. To be confirmed next week.
All right.
Next week, you will all find out what the first episode is going to be. Um, Countdown to do what you're laughing at.
I was gonna say go to the pictures, but I was like, no, I'll shut up.
No. I've already been laying some seeds in tonight. Countdown to Doomsday is coming on Saturday, and that will be Captain Marvel, the First Avenger.
Mhm.
Holy shit, am I excited for this episode. And me and Jake even messaged the other day and said, can you believe we're nearly at the Avengers?
I'm on the
Like,
Avengers one, isn't I?
absolutely.
Right. I thought I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um Yeah, so we're nearly there. We're nearly at the first marking point, which is the Avengers. But yes,
Mhm.
Doomsday on Saturday, and then I'm back on Sunday.
Cool. So next Sunday we are starting a new formula when it comes to the Sunday episodes. Don't worry, we're not changing too much. We're just going to talk
Trying
about
something new.
try a few different subjects. Like we're going to be the first of the month. We're going to be talking about old classic Hollywood, like some movies that people probably don't want to haven't seen in a while, or because they've been filmed a certain way, they probably stayed with. So we are kicking off with the classic movie Some Like It Hot.
Billy Wilder's Some Like It Hot with the great Marilyn
Oh
Monroe,
no,
Jack Lemmon,
mm,
and
Tony
Tony
Curtis.
Curtis. Tony
And
Curtis,
did you?
Jamie Star.
Has he got a wig in this one? Is it pre or before wig? You know he gets
Pre.
upset. He used to get upset if you mentioned it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's Jamie Star. We're
yeah,
talking about Jamie
yes,
Star. It's gonna
yeah,
be fun.
yes. We're talking about men dressing up as women in the 1930s, which will be fine.
Hey, it is there is some absolutely funny shit in this film. We are bringing classic Hollywood to the nerdy up north just for one episode a month.
A bit of culture,
Um,
bit of taste.
bit of culture, a bit of taste, you know. And then we're gonna go
Um,
back to the nerd part.
yeah, so I'll just give you a rundown of what we've got planned for January. So, we've got Some Like It Hot leading up. Then we've got a review of Superman, the Christopher Reeve, 1 and 2, and we'll talk about the documentary a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, we
If
are
I can.
we are going to the 80s for some how would you describe it? Action fantasy in The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I believe we have Lee joining us for that episode.
Another Stephen King.
Yes, an adaptation. Um, and then we're rounding off with Jake and Joe joining us to talk all about the wars. So we were talking about why we liked Star Wars, what got us into Star Wars, and just like having a conversation between the wars.
Yeah, and we're gonna kind of lay the groundwork and see where the next episodes of this can go because we're gonna get a general feel of where we are
Mm,
within the Star Wars. Because I think we were just cracking the surface
yes,
on the
because
charity stream.
no, like I say, it's one of them things we all love them for different reasons, and it's
Uh-huh.
interesting having that conversation. So that's going to be January
January.
filled up. Just to say as well, I am guesting on a web series that's coming up, Top Grumps.
Yeah.
I
Well
do
done.
apologize now because it probably is the most offensive episode that Top Grumps has done, where Lee had to try and pare back me and Chris.
Oh
Um,
wow. Okay.
just
Well,
just to say that it is about Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka, and how we kind of compared him to a war criminal from Austria at certain
wow.
points.
Okay. Okay. Poor Grandpa Joe. I can't stand that film, but wow.
Yeah.
And you're coming off the back of my wholesome episode as well. Wow.
Mhm.
You guys have really, really gone there.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun that you've been on a web series. It's nice that you were invited.
I said it was quite funny because they will keep saying, "Are you going to come on?" I was like, "Maybe." We're recording. Like, are you going to be there? Possibly. So I
Oh,
was just being non-committal as fuck. But I've never seen Chris laugh so much. Like literally, I we had to stop for
well,
a
yeah.
couple of minutes because Chris was just broken for some times. But yeah,
Well, yeah, because Lee is like uber professional on
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Like Lee takes that shit seriously. He wants his web series to do incredibly well, and I am here for it.
Mhm. But yeah,
Paul is a bad influence on us. Yeah, I can imagine. I can
but
imagine. Um,
mhm.
anything else to promote before we go?
No, trekking's off. I think there'll be a few Twitch streams coming up from then. I know. I was talking about it in the Discord for New Year's Eve because my wife's going out with her brother and family. I'm stopping in because I don't like it, so I might do a watch along in the Discord if anyone is free. I'm going to try and find a few movies. I might try and pull up Rocky Horror or something like that and just watch it in the
Cool.
Discord on New Year's Eve just to enjoy it and experience, see it in with some lovely nerds if you wanted to as well. There, okay.
Oh, if anyone needs the company, that is lovely. What
Mhm.
else was I going to say? Women of Nerd Culture have their monthly episode coming out, and it is all about books and book
Books.
talk and
Yep.
books. Head over to the Discord for more information and get involved with the Women of Nerd Culture, because they are very much community driven and very much want people to be involved in their show.
Yes.
So that's the Nerdy Up North Discord.
Yes. Full of wrong'uns. Watch
Full
out
of
for
wrong'uns.
Beth. Watch out for Beth. She bites.
You'll make some, honestly, you'll make some good friends. If you are watching us on YouTube, please remember, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. The
Mhm.
audio for this episode, and obviously only this episode. No, Trek was out on Friday. No? Yeah?
Trek's on a break. So yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry. I thought that. My apologies. I'm
Yeah.
a week. I'm all over the place. I don't know where I'm at. The
No,
audios for all Nerdy Up North go up on a Tuesday from anywhere you get your podcast from. If you can, show some love, show some kindness, leave a review, let us know that you're listening to us.
Mhm.
I feel like I've covered everything.
Yes, and again, buy a nudie. Use code.
Use what's the code?
Oh, I'm trying to get the code up now. I'm too busy laughing at myself.
7.
Oh no, it's 5 something. 2 seconds. So 57676. 57676. Get
That's
15%.
57676.
Yeah. And Chris is saying become a creep. Yeah. Creepy.
Become a
Discord.
creep, yeah. Become a creep in the Discord. Can't say it enough. Honestly, you'll meet your bestest friends in there. I promise you. I think that's
yes.
it, Paul.
That's it.
For 2024.
That's been a year. It's been an
It's been a-
experience. And I say, just to say a big nerdy thank you to everyone who's supported us, everyone who's been there for us. Big shout out to Jake. Like I say, honestly, you're one of the loveliest guys I know. You're a proper sweetheart. Lee, Chris, your driver's absolutely batshit crazy, but also you're like sons I never wanted, but I'm glad you're there. Goodwill, like I say, you're doing what you do. Like I say, I love you like a brother. Graham, who scares me. I don't know what he's going to do next. Sarah, Becca, Beth, like I say, the creeps. Molly, you look beautiful. Christian needs to put a ring on that finger. Bex, I love you. Everyone, like I say, as part of Nerdy Up North, yous are amazing there.
Massive shout out to Joe and the team behind the Christmas Carol special that was released on Christmas Day. You guys fucking smashed it. You shocked them. I know that firsthand because I messaged them. You guys did absolutely amazing. Thank you everyone from the bottom of our hearts for everything that you have done in 2024 to help support us and help keep Nerdy Up North alive, basically.
Yeah, and I forgot to say as well, Sammy called us a nonce. That's not nice. That's not Christmassy.
That was 2015, Sam. That if you not noticed, the picture was from 2015 when I had blonde hair, so that wasn't me.
She was like, "Fuck off, you nonce." But yeah, if you watch, if you go on
My
the YouTube
neighbour
channel,
must have thought of wrong things that day.
there's a nerdy Christmas Carol where, like I say, Paul Scrooge McDuck, whatever, learns the error of his ways and keeps everyone there. But yeah, you just batshit crazy. But the production value was actually amazing. So well done.
Yeah.
Like I say, I was
well
impressed.
Done, everyone involved, down from Sonia, Sarah, Becca, Lee, Chris, everyone, Joe, Jake, Akon, Beth, Nova. I feel like I've named everyone. If I haven't, I'm so sorry, and I love you all.
Bye. Right.
Bye.
So same bat time, same bat channel.
Stay nerdy, everyone.
And see you in 2025.
2025, baby.
Bye.